What's happening, Champion Squad? Welcome your beautiful faces back to the channel. Today's video, we are taking a look at the best settings for Season 6 in Apex Legends. Now, if you guys haven't noticed or may have noticed, so I did change some of my settings if you guys were wondering. So what I want to do in this video is perfecting the most crucial settings, number one, and I'll go over that in a second. And I'm going to give you methods on how you can actually perfect it to see what's best fit for you. Now, I am going to have timestamps down in the description below, so if you're looking at a specific setting or just a preview of all my settings, check the description and there'll be timestamps for you guys to skip ahead. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at my settings here. And the first page we're taking a look at is the gameplay tab. Now, I am also going to link my Season 4 settings video down in the description below. I highly recommend you guys check that out after watching this video, because stuff that I won't cover in this video will be covered in that Season 4 video. I went really in depth with that, so that one's definitely worth a watch. But again, we're focusing on crucial settings here that will impact your game drastically if not perfected. So on the gameplay tab here, we're not actually going to change anything, but the one thing I want to point out really quickly is the taking damage closes death box menu. Just make sure you have that off. Definitely have that off. Because if you're taking damage while you're trying to loot, it's going to kick you out of the box. Let's say if you're trying to get a shield swap, a quick, 1-2 second shield swap, and then fight an enemy. If he starts shooting at you first, you won't be able to get that shield swap off, and you will go into shambles. So again, make sure that is off. And that's pretty much it for the gameplay tab. Like I said, my other settings video covers all of this in massive depth, so I recommend you guys check it out. Moving on to the controller tab. So let's take a look at the first crucial setting that I want you guys to perfect, which is going to be menu cursor speed. Now, if you look at mine, it's about right even with the first notch in trigger dead zones, but we're going to go ahead and actually count it out, what exactly it is. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 ticks from 0. 11 ticks from 0 is my cursor menu speed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is pretty much lined up with that first tab of trigger dead zone. Now, how did I find my menu cursor speed? So I'm going to give you guys a little drill that you can actually do that is really going to help you out with finding what's best for you. And the way we're going to do it is grabbing 3 stacks of each ammo type. So I will catch you guys once I have my inventory full. Okay, so I filled up my inventory. Now we have 3 stacks of sniper ammo, 3 stacks of heavy ammo, 3 stacks of shotgun ammo, and 3 stacks of energy ammo. And on top of that, 3 stacks of light ammo. So our inventory is pretty much full here. And what we're going to do here is, this is your cursor menu speed, right? The time it takes, or how fast this actual cursor moves when you're in your menu, when you're trying to change attachments, when you're trying to drop attachments, say you don't want a specific site. You really got to be doing this quickly. And I preface this because, especially early game, when you start looting early game, you're picking up anything that you can see, right? But then once you start finding your weapon combo that you want to use to end game, that you want to use or bring, should I say, to mid game, and you have attachments that you don't necessarily need, when you're running, you want to be able to run through buildings, through trying to advance yourself while adjusting your inventory, right? If I want to drop something, I'm going to be running while doing it. So that's going to give you an edge and save you some time when you're trying to, let's say, catch up to your team, or if they're pushing in a squad and you want to drop some of your inventory loot. That is going to help you capitalize on getting better. So here we go. We have all our stacks of ammo, and the way this drill is going to work, just start at any side of the bottom platforms here. And we're going to run in a straight line to the other side, but we're going to be dropping 1 stack of each ammo at a time. So once you drop 1 stack, get out of your menu while you're running the entire time though, and then drop another stack. And you want to bring every stack down to 2. So it's going to look something like this. So now I have 2 stacks of each while running the entire time. And notice I closed the menu after every stack that I dropped. So you want to be able to open and close the menu while running constantly, while being able to actually drop the specific ammo pack that you need to drop. So now we have 2 stacks of each. Then we're going to go back to the 1 stacks now. So I'm going to run back to the other side, and I'm going to try to get 1 stack of each ammo type. There we go. Now, it doesn't matter which one you have to drop first. Just make sure you have, 1 stack of each, or you want to make sure all the ammo types are equal to each other in terms of how many stacks we have. So now we have just 1 of each, and that's perfectly fine. So when you get to this point, if you have weapons picked up, you see I have the R301 and the Wingman. We're going to be using that later on in the video. However, you can see they're voided here. I have shotgun voided, energy voided, and sniper voided because I don't have that type of weapon to use that specific ammo. So the next thing we're going to drop is those voided ammo. So again, one at a time though. Open and close the menu after each time you drop something. So everybody go. Energy, shotgun, sniper. So that's going to be the drill you want to do when you're testing out your menu cursor speed. And now let's say, for example, you did that drill and your cursor menu speed was about here, right? And you noticed that it was taking a long time for your cursor to get to the item, and you knew that you had perfect accuracy with it, no problem, that you actually need to increase it. I would say increase with adjustments of 2 to 3 increments. So here we go. Let's say you were on this before. Let's go up 1, 2. And now you want to run that drill back again. Run that drill back again. See how well you can perform with a higher menu cursor speed. Now, over time, like I said, when you get better at the game and you start feeling more comfortable on the controller, that's when you want to actually pay attention and maybe increase it mid-game. When you're actually playing and you feel like your menu cursor speed is too slow, go ahead, tick it up 2 notches. Play it out, see how it is in the game. And I also want to say yours might even be too high. Maybe you got to drop it down a little bit. Maybe if you feel like you're over-scrolling some items, definitely drop it down 2 ticks and go from there. So now that we figured out what our menu cursor speed is, let's go ahead and take a look at the look sensitivity. That's going to be the next option here, which is very crucial for number 1, hipfire accuracy. Hipfire actually plays a huge role based on your look sensitivity. Now, if you have it too high, you're going to have trouble hipfiring people that have good movement speed. You know, if they're strafing up a storm in front of you, even if they're close range. And if you have trouble tracking them, you might want to lower down your look sensitivity. So here what we're going to do is another little training method, and I have the wingman already on deck. I just want to grab a little bit more ammo. So with this method, grab yourself a wingman and a level 1 white extended mag, which gives you 6 bullets. Center yourself right here on the center weapons platform where I am, and stay in the middle back of it, just like this. Perfect. And what we're gonna do is, since your look sensitivity is based on your hipfire accuracy, for the most part, that's when it's gonna really come clutch. So what we're looking to do here is we have 6 total targets here, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. We also have 6 bullets in a magazine with a wingman level 1 extended mag. We're going to be hip firing and headshotting every single target from left to right. And the key to this is, number 1, to not miss any shots, and number 2, to see how fast you can actually do it. Now, if you're not missing any shots, then your look sensitivity might be either perfect for you, or you can actually increase it by 1. Now, if you are missing shots, you might want to look at lowering your look sensitivity. So let's go ahead and take a look how I'm actually hitting these targets when I'm hip firing them. Look at my stick drift, by the way. See how it's automatically going down, not even touching the controller? Crazy. But I got the lucky stick drift. This pulls down, helps with recoil control. Don't tell anyone. Shout out Scuff Gaming, if you can see the scuff paddles right there. So it's going to look something like this, and also make sure that you are crouched when doing it. That way your hipfire accuracy is a little bit more accurate with the wingman. That's 1 set, and we are totally out of ammo. We hit all 6 targets. Two sets. There we go. So that little training method there is really going to help you find and perfect your personal look sensitivity. Again, everyone's going to be different. Not necessarily have to use 5 how I'm using right now in this game. Again, remember, I started playing on 4.3, I believe. Maybe it was even 3.3. It's hard to think back that many. It was like a year ago when I started playing Apex. Try this training out. See what works best for you and adjust accordingly. Same thing with that menu cursor speed. So since we finished the look sensitivity, let's go ahead and move on to the ADS sensitivity, which is now 4 for me. As you guys know, when I made that season 4 settings video, I believe my ADS and look sensitivity were both on 4. Now, if you notice, I changed my look to 5, kept my ADS the same though. So that's the thing here. And I also have a little bit of a training method for you guys to find your ADS sensitivity. So when working with the ADS sensitivity, we're going to go ahead and try the training for it, which is grabbing yourself an R301 and a level 3 light mag, just how I have here. Notice I don't have any other attachments though. I'm not going to run... Actually, let's throw on a sight. Might as well. Sight's not really going to matter, but no stabilizer, no stock. Okay, it's just a sight and a level 3 mag. So after grabbing your ammo, work yourself up to the little slant here, little slope what we have right here. And we're going to be focusing on the 3 dummies here and just make sure they're all full 200 health. Let's go him. He's good. This guy is good. And what we're going to want to do is sort of position yourself about right here where that slant is on the charge tower. And we're going to be sliding in one direction, aiming in, and trying to one mag these dummies at the bottom here. And what that's really going to do is focus on your ADS sensitivity and really make sure that you can control it while moving, right? So that's the key thing here. Since we're sliding and we're not standing still or, strafing, we're providing our right analog stick to do most of the work. So here we go. Let's do a little test run right here since I'm right in the perfect spot for it. That guy was weak already, damn it. Just like that. Just go back and forth. You don't even have to probably focus on that one. That way you're working your right side and your left side. But just really notice and pay attention to your aim. Are you hitting majority of the shots? Or if you're missing too many shots. You definitely want to lower down your ADS sensitivity. And again, when you're looking at your sensitivity, whether it's look or ADS, you don't want to go by increments of 2, just like we said with that menu cursor speed. This time you want to go with increments of 1 because it definitely makes a drastic difference just by changing 1 notch. Just like that. Back and forth. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm already comfortable to that 4 ADS sensitivity. Whatever you guys are rocking, test it out. First, try your original. Whatever you're running now, try that out doing these stages, even with the menu cursor speed stage and the hipfire wingman stage here. Start with your original sense that you're using now. Don't touch anything. Don't try to match mine either because, again, personal preference when it comes to settings. Try all these stages out with your current settings. And then, let's say you're doing the one stage and you find yourself that you're not performing as you should be. That's when you want to start changing it up a little bit and see what fits for you. So since we finished menu cursor speed, we did our look sensitivity and we also did our ADS sensitivity. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the last setting that I want to cover for today, which is going to be FOV, which is located under video tab here. And we have our set on 106. Now, this is definitely going to be preference based on what console you're actually using. I'm using the Xbox One X. So it's running, pretty good graphics here. I'm not having any issues long range looking at targets. But when I played on PC, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been playing a lot on PC recently, and I don't have the best graphics card on my PC. So when it comes to my FOV on PC, I think I run a 102 or a 104. It's a little bit lower than when I run on console, because when I crank it up, these long range targets, the render on them are so blurry. It's difficult to see and make out a clear picture. Let's say if I'm shooting someone at that range, right? I don't have a scope on. It's very hard to make out what character I'm fighting. If it's like a Watson or if it's like a Bang, or if they're not using their abilities, right? If you're just shooting them straight on, it's tough to really make out on who you're actually dealing damage to, which is crucial when you're playing those competitive games or you're playing ranked. You want to be calling out how much damage you're dealing and on who you're dealing it to. So you really got to make sure that you can make out which character you're fighting. So what we're going to do with the FOV stage is go ahead and work our way up to the top of the mountain here. And again, stick with the wingman. We don't really need anything else. Now notice mine was 106, right? Let's go ahead and drop it down to baseline standard 70, which I don't recommend at all, because when you're playing like this, people could be passing on your left side of the screen, right side of the screen, and you won't even know, just because you're so zoomed in. And also I noticed when I dropped it down a lot, my ADS sensitivity feels way faster. Kind of weird. Even my look sensitivity feels way faster. If you want a good place to start, I would say about 100. 100 would be perfect to start, right? And then you work from there just accordingly and go by increments of 2, because I think that's only what you can go by. Let's see. Yep, it goes right to 102. So if we start out 100, I'm not going to have any problems with hitting these targets here. And what we're going to be focusing on are these 4 moving targets with the wingman, and just basically tag them. Make sure you can tag them at this range without having too much trouble. So I did that fairly easily, no problem at all. And I'm just going to go ahead and bounce it up to that 106, what I'm used to playing, and go from there. And again, if you're not having any trouble and you don't have any screen distortion or anything like that, or if you have a good graphics card and you're playing on PC, definitely crank that up to about 108, 110, even if you can 110. But again, it will be tough based on the hardware that you're actually using. So now, since we pretty much covered the most crucial settings, in my opinion at least, now there are some other settings that could take into effect that can play a huge part on your gameplay, but I already covered it in my old settings video, so I'll leave that link in the description below. What we're going to do now is just go over all my settings super quickly. That way you guys can pause the video for yourselves if you want to take a look at it and see what I'm using. So for the gameplay tab, these are my current settings here. Just going to slowly scroll down for you guys. Controller. Video. We just covered that, by the way. And I believe my brightness is a couple ticks ahead of the default. I think the tab is right here, default, right in the center. I have it like about 2 to 3 ticks more brighter. That way it helps when you're looking in caves, right? You don't want to see somebody completely dark in a cave. You won't be able to spot them. So turn that brightness up just a little bit. And audio, I don't play with any music on, and I don't want to have music going on when I'm dropping into the game, right? You get that intro music when you drop into a game. That's really what you want to do, is pay attention to footsteps. If you're landing hot and you have multiple people around you, you don't want to have any music playing. You want to land, get the weapons, start sound horning right away, even though footsteps are non-existent here. And that's pretty much all my settings there. So again, make sure you guys check out the Season 4 settings video if you haven't already. I'm going to cover, I basically go in depth with every single setting on that and tell you guys what to use there. But for this video, I wanted to cover what my current settings are now and the most crucial settings with some training that goes along with them to perfect it so you can have your own personal settings. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the Season 6 settings, the best settings for controller, Xbox, and PS4, doesn't matter, or even PC if you're using controller on PC. If you guys enjoyed today's video, like rating is always appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe, join the Champion Squad. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and as always, it's been your boy Sultan. I'm signing off. Peace.